here with Louie, Sean, and me. And we're going to talk about... Louie wants to talk about white privilege.
What's the name of the podcast?
The Gaba-Gulag.
The Gaba-Gulag? The Gaba-Gulag?
Gaba-Gulag.
Well, you can't eat a gulag, and I don't like that.
Because we're all democratic socialists.
This is Gaba-Gulag, I guess.
No, what we were talking about earlier, the concept of privilege. Yeah. And there's like people who you thought the idea of privilege was like a weapon to beat someone over the head. Like, shut up, you can't have an opinion because you're a white male. But that's not really what it is. It's more or less recognizing your privilege. Mm-hmm. Something we were talking about earlier. So
can't you talk somewhat more about social? I want to say malfeasances, but I don't know what that word means. Like, if you're coming from privilege and you recognize that you have privilege, you can speak from what power looks like. If you don't have power or privilege, you don't actually know the mechanisms that allow you to succeed over others who don't have it. But what is the objective of this thought?
Name something that you are privileged over,
like white privilege,
or it could be white privilege.
Like an example of white privilege
would
probably be
economic privilege.
Any time I've ever gotten pulled over, I've never feared for my life.
Okay, there's one.
I'm not in the Gaba-Gulag, all right? I don't need to answer to the commandant.
I'm just saying, there's got to be something where you recognize
you're already one
you
of
have
us.
an advantage over...
I'm a white, cisgendered male.
Okay, there we go. Okay, and I'll go... I'm really good looking. Now, Sean?
I have, money from my family. So,
inherited?
Yeah, inherited.
I see where the bit's going. We're all going to say something like, well, I can walk on, and I'm able, and he's going to go, and I'm also charming, and then we're all going to go, oh, Louie.
No.
Well, the truth is you're a slimy creep who makes everyone uncomfortable in the room. Okay. I can't introduce him to new friends. Okay. You know that I can't bring him around to parties? Because he's a piece of shit.
No, one time
we were in a ram's horn. Like he tries to act out for people.
Okay, so go on. Name something that you're privileged.
I'm privileged to have a friend who's a complete monster on his inside. But since he's an attractive white male, everyone forgives him, and then girls just fuck him under bridges in Clinton Township.
Well, I think that's an example of his privilege.
One time we were at a ram's horn, and the woman, a chick came up. I said the woman, a waitress came up,
a woman
who obviously liked him, and he just to fuck with her was like, "Are you one of those feminists because of your hair?" And she was like, "Oh, stop." Yeah,
I never did that.
Yeah. Oh, really, Louie?
Yeah, you're thinking of the wrong person.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, hold on a second. Don't chime in with your stupid
Wait, hold on a second here.
I got a retard to the left of me playing Call of Duty. Louie was like, I'm handsome, and he went, no, you're not. He is, Andrew. He's objectively handsome, and he makes you look like a pirate.
Are you saying another example of white privilege is...
What is the point? Get to the end.
No, hold on a second here, because you were saying that I'm disgusting.
When he does acid, he'll be in my house doing acid while we're playing video games, and he's just slithering on the couch with his eyes closed and saying, I see bug mouse. Whenever he does acid and he closes his eyes, he tells me he sees prisms of slimy bug mouse and spider mouse.
No, there's symmetrical
bug mouse
kaleidoscopes of like.
Yeah, your insides are black tar.
Okay, hold on a second.
You're a monster.
So
man.
if I was not charismatic, how would I have lured that girl that you mentioned under a bridge?
Yeah, and then she wanted you to choke her under a bridge and fuck her, which you did.
I didn't fuck her.
Oh, I like how Louie used the word.
Because us fat goons would have to point out
that Louie used the word lure when talking about this. I think that's worth noting.
It's one of those things where you want to see how far you can push it. Like, will this person who barely knows me follow me under a bridge? There's like no goal intended. It's more like...
Should I tell that cop story, or is that too far?
Which cop story?
About the guy in Texas?
Yeah, I don't care.
So I was telling my friends about this because he made me laugh so hard. Louie calls me at the height, like right when the George Floyd protests start popping off, and he's like, yeah, I've been calling this cop in Texas and harassing him and threatening him like once a day, and it's hilarious. I'm like, are you doing that because of the George Floyd protests? And he goes, who? That's his privilege. He's already on the cutting end of the social justice movement before anyone else is there because of his psychopathy.
I could actually... I already know the jurisdiction rules and shit. There's nothing a Texas cop can do.
Your Honor, I know the jurisdiction rules, so this terrorism charge...
that actually is something you can file to throw out a case. In the beginning of any case is... based on lack of jurisdiction. Like, you can use that to get out of lawsuits and shit if someone tries suing you out of state or whatever. But I just knew there's nothing they can do, even if they call the FBI. The FBI's got better things to do than bother some troll, from Detroit, telling a cop he's going to rape his kids.
because of
as
his
a gay
member,
man,
or
as a
because
gay
he's member?
dude, would you be like pumped to go to jail because it's just like summer camp for you?
No, because I don't think you can pick your boyfriends, right?
Yeah, you can. Of course you can. You can get relationships. You can get married in there, really. I think.
I don't know. Maybe I don't have to.
Yeah, you got nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, see?
Yeah, see? I can just talk like that and then, yeah, see? Suck my dick. Yeah.
So what was the finish your privilege thought?
Be my husband. I was just going to say I have really nice arms. That's, something that,
Right. Have we reached the end of the bit now?
Is the bit?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Shut up, Andrew. Don't talk.
Don't talk about me if I can't fucking.
I have a.
Remember when I bring up high school stories, you'd make fun of me?
Yes, you were a fucking nerd.
Oh, yeah?
You think you're so cool.
Yeah, is that true, Sean?
Well.
He was the suit guy.
Yes and no.
He was a guy who wore a suit every day.
Okay, here's the. Okay.
Not every day.
Here's the thing. Well, every day that I saw you, you were wearing a suit.
Well, sometimes it's just a vest.
And
a bow tie.
Here's the unfortunate reality. Everything about what Louie did, if you look at it completely objectively with out of context, it's fucking like nerdy bullshit. He should have been getting his ass kicked every day. Everybody in that school fucking loved him.
Yeah, because girls thought he was cute, and then so people would cling to him, hoping to get.
Well, the high school that I ended up going to after that was probably had more
Warren.
drug problems.
The shit I heard about Cosno and Warren, like they had like two major gang. Remember that I was telling you about that guy Matt Smith who had the gang, the Wrecking Crew, and he was a psychopath who took steroids. He'd break a dog's legs and threw it in the middle of the road.
Jesus.
Well,
we didn't have that shit at Mount Clemens.
My high school, not Mount Clemens.
Chippewa.
Yeah, Chippewa.
Paul Feig School.
Paul Feig School.
Yeah. Where Freaks and Geeks was based.
Yes. Humble brag. Me and Paul Feig had the same English teacher. Okay. No, my high school had skinheads. So.
Yeah. Chippewa had.
Do that closer to the mic.
I'll bring up that other point because you're a large man, Sean, and I'm. My doctor told me I'm morbidly obese, and he explained to me what that means. He says if I go on with this current trend of weight gain, it's gonna kill me, which means morbid. That's what the morbid comes from in the obesity. My obesity will be the death of me eventually. So my whole thing was my friend wants me to meet his girlfriend, and he keeps inviting me over to his house to sit by the pool.
All right.
Because he knows I won't enter the pool because I'm morbidly obese. But then I had to explain to him multiple times. That's even worse because everyone's going to look around and go, hey, why isn't that guy in the pool? It's 90 degrees out. What am I going to do, soak my feet like a pregnant woman? Everyone's going to be like, that guy's not in the pool because he's fat.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I think most people will get it. Like,
I don't want them to get. I don't want the whole party to just be constantly have my obesity on their mind, which is usually what happens anyway. But I don't need that as a topic of discussion. I try to explain. I'm like, why don't you have a bonfire? There's fucking snacks. You roast marshmallows.
Wait, which friend is this?
Great. Don't worry about it.
I mean, because I've been looking for a pool.
That's out in fucking.
He's looking for someone to manipulate
drive.
so he can use them for their pool.
I've been looking for a pool. My swimming laugh. So name examples of your privilege. who brought this guy? Yeah.
I wouldn't bring that up.
You know how you do acid
I'm
and see
looking for
spider mouths? Your
So-
dad is terrifying, even though he's an old man. He's terrifying.
I heard my dad on the phone talking about some man named Herman Pencil from like the 1960s that used to beat everyone up. Like he was like just a sociopathic monster. And I don't know, it's just weird to come up.
Beat everyone up.
Yeah.
I misunderstood the story.
I wonder if we know a sociopathic
Beat everyone
monster.
Oh.
Yeah. Sean, we moved past how bad Louie is. Sorry.
Oh, okay. But we didn't talk about his beard.
Beard. Leave her out of this.
You know what's the worst when you go out with him and then like all the girls just constantly talk to him and then you're like, hey, he's gay, right? And you think that's gonna stop him, and then they're like, really? I could change him, and you're like,
what was that book called? Get your shit together.
It's one of those motivational books that has a swear word in it, so it makes you like, whoa, this is kind of wacky.
This guy's edgy.
He's not fucking around.
He's cutting through the bullshit. Well, he wrote it when he was like 21 and didn't have a house and a job.
Oh, well.
What's up with life coaches? I know that like life coaching is like culty, but every life coach is a complete fucking loser.
Oh yeah, well,
they constantly want to just push onto you just moral platitudes that everyone's already aware of.
Well, I won't mention any names.
Oh wow, do unto others as you want to do.
Well,
unto,
I mean
that's genius.
That's how.
Let's just
that's
say
how it gets culty, right?
Here it is. Okay, so I just looked it up. This guy Jacoby Cash, get your shit together. Life, how it works, and how to deal with it, explained by a millennial.
Is he a Zoomer though?
Nah, he's like at the
21?
very bottom of millennial, but he's one of those like Uncle Tom millennials who try to side with the boomers.
Who are those black bodybuilders who are like, Black Lives Matter is a scam.
The Hodge twins.
And there's no racism. And
the Hodge
just
twins.
To get clout, yeah.
There was that, she had that video where she was bitching about fat people.
Nicole something.
Yeah, Nicole Arbor.
Yep.
Yeah, she's turning right-wing just now. Because she's trying to find fans of
I
any
hate
kind.
that the new counterculture is fucking conservative. I know we can get into politics, but like I have my little cousin is like, they think like politics is binary. So instead of like even moving further left, which you can do, or do a Chomsky like a social libertarian type thing, it's just like, well, the mainstream Dems are dumb. I'm an alt-righter, and I'm gonna buy a gun and wear a Hawaiian shirt, and I hope it goes down. Well, you have bad knees at 19 because you're morbidly obese. If a civil war happens, you're gonna do nothing.
Yeah.
So go fuck yourself and watch your stupid little gun cleaning. The alt-right is just fucking pure poison in this country.
So
you know why I think the alt-right is also coming back, or not coming back, why it sprouted up, is I call it like the dad kid who, like, I'm from a small town, and there's these fucking nerds. Everything's becoming atomized, and everyone's, like, becoming more socially distant because of social media, because you think you're plugging into, like, a social sphere through, like, Facebook and Twitter, but you're not. And there's so much info being come at you through, like, all these different mediums online that it's hard to make sense of it, so that you turn to your daddy. And so many kids in these small towns like, well, my dad says this, because that's where they get clarification from. Their dad, because everyone's broke, they still live at home, they can't move out until they're 25, 30 anymore. So it's just like, well, my dad knows this guy, and he told me that this well, that's a fucking lie, and your dad's actually dumb. Like, I just see so much of that shit from the town I'm from. Social media really has ruined this. The algorithms of social media. Social media early on Facebook, was so fun because you can infiltrate every group and fuck with everybody. And essentially what happens is people just create these bubbles. Like, the ads get tailored to you. After Facebook figures out that you only belong to, the Biden brigade or whatever the fuck, or the Trump blah, 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 then they just start tailoring the shit to you, and people just keep hitting like to all the pages that are gonna feed into their echo chamber. Like, and so you just get stupid fucking boomer retards on both sides.
Well, I mean, like, you have this really weird thing where nobody trusts the media anymore. Unfortunately, yeah.
Yes,
but because
local media
because
is the best.
people stop listening to the media altogether. So where do they get their news? Well, they get it from
PatriotEagle.org.
Well, they get it from online shit, and it's not just like mainstream online shit. It's all the other online shit. I think most of the people get their information from fucking memes and bullshit headlines.
Well, your average person doesn't read past a headline.
Well, yeah. Well, they just trade these like fucking retarded, moronic memes with each other.
Most establishment Dems and liberals are just wealthy, well-to-do, bored housewives who are just like, I also care. How great I am.
So they share a meme or they share an article based on like a splashy headline, and it's literally just like, to prove I'm on your side, but they don't even read past it or challenge it or anything. Like, I don't know, the boomer Democrats annoy me as much as like the boomer Republicans at this point.
Yeah,
the AOC election that just happened just makes me hate the Democrats so much. They spent like tens of millions of dollars running. Did you know this? Michelle Cabrera, she worked for CNBC, host or whatever she was, registered Republican until 2015, loved Reagan, and wrote a book about how great capitalism is. Runs as a Democrat to unseat AOC with millions and millions and millions of dollars through Wall Street, loses by like 73%, like gets her fucking ass kicked by Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. So the Democrats tried to unseat this, like, she is the most popular congressperson in the entire country at this time, and the Democrats tried to fucking kick her out.
Yep.
With a Republican. And you wonder why, like,
because the Dems don't actually need to
they don't
implement any social.
No, it's all.
Well, so I made a post. My cousin who's a Trumper made a post. Posted that ad saying it was like pathetic or something about Biden. His one ad was him just drinking water and running. Like, look, I can drink water and run, unlike Trump. So they don't actually have to do anything. They just have to be better than Trump.
No, it's
which
symbolic.
The bar is just drinking water, apparently.
Yeah.
So I commented, like, I shared it, and I was like, this is cringy. And a family member who is a liberal commented, thinking I was, like, pro-Biden. Yeah, it's embarrassing that Trump can't drink water. No. It's embarrassing that his only good fucking point is that he can't drink water. Like, what the fuck are we doing now? Like, I don't know.
But I just don't give a fuck anymore. I think I did you get the thing mailed to you about applying, filling it out to so you can vote through the mail?
Yeah.
Yeah, I threw it out. I'm done with voting, I think. First of all,
I have to vote for Biden though.
The whole Black Lives Matter. You know what? I'm older. That my decision is based on my age. If I was your age, both of your ages, I was more optimistic. I've just become a hardened cynic who just longs for like.
You're also closeted still at our age.
So what?
You're also still in the closet at our age.
Well, just not really. I don't even know how much more obvious it could have been.
His Russian boyfriend.
What do you mean?
Remember when you used to ask me, you're like, just admit you're bi. I'm like, I am. I'm bi. And you're like, no, you're lying to me.
No.
It doesn't count.
That's not.
Then I'm like, hey, look, I'm going to pick up this.
I didn't have a chalkboard with things. That's not true.
Yeah.
No.
You're walk into his basement and there's just a cork board with like push pins and string. Just documenting.
Yeah, and then I'm like, hey, Luke, I'm going to go pick up this gay guy. And we're going to go to a bar together. And Luke's with us. And then Luke's like, you're gay.
That didn't happen at all. No, I stopped into a bar you were at. And you happened to be there with Latrell.
We met up.
And then you were shocked.
We came from... No, you went with me because we came from the Lena Prima concert. Remember? From Andiamos.
No,
we went to it. Yeah, I took the Molly.
No, we took methadone.
Well, methadone. You didn't take it.
After the concert, we went to my mom's house. About when I caught you at the bar.
No, after the concert, we picked up Latrell, and we went to your mother's.
The first time.
Because I was in the suit, remember?
And I was like, and you said, I was like, well, so you are like bi. Yeah, but don't tell your sister, because she probably thinks that she has AIDS or something.
Well,
yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm
used
used to that reaction.
So I don't have to tell anyone.
I'm used to that reaction.
That's still better than...
well, I told you, and then for a whole entire year, you didn't know?
I didn't... Well, you told me, and for an entire year, I didn't believe you.
Multiple times. I got
because I thought you were doing like a bit or some shit. Because you're...
I get up to leave Ramshorn saying, I'm going on a gay date.
No, you weren't going like, I'm going on a gay date. You're like, well, I'm going to go fuck a guy now. And it's like, the way you presented it was almost as if it was a joke.
The point is like...
And it was like, it wasn't until I was talking to Luke, and he's like, no, he's actually going to go fuck a guy. And I'm like, really?
I would say gay date. That's how I describe them. Because that's how I differentiate it. Because I'm still dating women.
Andrew, grab like 4 of those so you don't have to get up.
With some,
so basically, anyone who gets terminally ill and doesn't shoot up a fucking health insurance company is a pussy, right?
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine dying and then you pay your bills?
Oh God.
Yeah.
I would rather buy an AR. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean but that's what happens though. It's like, I mean, like in order to get inheritance, you have to close all those accounts.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do.
First of all, inheritance, right? Let's go back on this. Who the fuck's going to get an inheritance?
Sean?
I did.
No, okay, you did.
And he closed the accounts, like he said.
Well, my aunt did because she was the executor of my mom's estate.
No, but I'm saying I have no inheritance, right? Even if I did, it wouldn't matter. Well, first of all, I wouldn't even go through the chemo and rack up like the 50 grand or whatever, or 100 grand or 1 million. The second they told me you have cancer, I'd be like, okay, and then I'd go buy an AR-15 and like shoot up like a health
There was a guy who okay, so I didn't find out he was a CEO of Michigan Blue Cross Blue Shield until after he left. I would have knocked him out. This douchey white guy with a huge class ring on, doing horrible stand-up at an open mic and just being condescending. And his last bit was him doing a Frank Sinatra song with a punchline at the end. So he made everyone just sit through an unfunny song.
Like the entire song?
Yeah.
I hate that.
He took singing lessons. He could sing, but it wasn't good.
If you're doing comedy, you should get to the point within fucking 1
Regardless,
minute.
we're just sitting there quietly, and then it's just like, whoa. And then he just like comment on people being kind of out there. And it's like, who the fuck are you? And I find out that he is like a health insurance CEO. And I was like, I would have knocked him out. I wish. Yeah. Don't ever come back here.
Yeah, make him uncomfortable to go out in public.
Yeah. Well, also it's like it's hard to be conservative and be in comedy. Like there's always like local hacks.
Yeah,
who,
yeah.
Like, post
well, because they're
that,
not funny.
And it's like you're not funny.
They're never
outdated.
funny. Name one conservative comedian that's funny.
Shut up, you're all coked up. We were at the fucking coffee house. And I don't want to say his name, but this conservative comedian, we call him Dad Joke Dave. He's there. He's like, look at these freaks. And one guy was just some dude in a wheelchair who's on disability, like smoking a pipe and just talking about like socialism. And it's like, yeah, he's more interesting than you with all your fucking money and your boats, you unfunny hack. Like you're triggered. Literally, there's the biggest fucking snowflakes in the world.
Yeah.
You're triggered because there's someone different than you in a fucking coffee house.
Yeah.
Like, go fuck yourself. You're supposed to be like open-minded and like examine culture and comment on it, but you're like, oh, what a freak this guy is. That's the other thing too. There's a new wave of like I said earlier. I hate that the counterculture is now alt-right. Because it's just like it's an easy thing to grab onto. You get a guaranteed base if you talk about it.
Counterculture.
Well, you get a guaranteed fucking viewership if you just say stupid.
Well, because that's because they know they have a marketplace.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
Well, half of them
but it's not
counterculture,
counterculture, no matter which way.
It is. Well, what is counterculture then?
I think like liberals have gotten it easy.
No, I think counterculture is all right because the majority of people now are getting more educated. Counterculture is the assholes being, why? Fuck them.
No, yeah,
that's because they're the minority now.
It's faux counterculture. It's counterculture because you have a, like, I guess you could say like a liberal voice that can like bitch and moan about them, and say like they're racist, they're this. But the reality is the liberals, let's say like the liberal stand-up comics.
Sean, you're going on a tirade.
No, here's the real counterculture: democratic socialists.
Okay, cool.
Stop doing coke on podcasts.
In order to call these conservatives counterculture, you would actually have to say that PC culture is a real thing and it is real culture right now.
Which it isn't.
Which it isn't, because
but
PC culture.
How is it not though?
Because it's faux.
Because
but hold on a second.
Most of it, a majority of it, is companies trying to appeal to as many people as they can in order to make more money.
It's symbolic.
Hold on a second.
They
appeal to the mainstream because, like I said, most people now, regardless of where you, even like dumb rednecks I know from Warren are like, well, fuck it, let the gays get married. We're becoming more progressive each generation.
It's like when you consider the fact that like.
So I don't mean PC culture as an SAW, blue hair, crazy people who think that it's communism or die. I'm just saying like the new counterculture is just to be a shitty person because most people now are becoming more progressive just inherently through education. I mean, maybe that's eroding now because the middle class is crumbling, but like. I think most people.
I don't necessarily think that's the thing because I think that most of these conservatives come up from an answer to political correctness and like the Me Too movement and all that other shit.
The problem with conservatives is their answer is to a boogeyman. It's not to the actual thing.
Well, yeah, and that's really like what they spout, but what they're trying to Trojan horse in under that is all like the homophobia, transphobia, racism. All that other shit that's just kind of like under the surface, but then it's
But they think that they're making some kind of a stand.
But when they're going to threaten a trans woman for using the women's
but that's like
just because that person may have had a penis at some point.
Yeah, but that's like different
and you
from
just
like
think that they're weird and they're gonna go in there and rape somebody, which makes no fucking sense.
Well, the only people who have ever raped
bathroom,
like straight men rape.
It's like if you don't want your wife to get raped, if you don't want your wife to get raped in a bathroom, like maybe don't have her use a crummy gas station bathroom.
I mean, but the only time sexual assault occurs in a woman's restroom by a man, it's always a straight man who just creeps himself in there and turns off the
it's usually a guy with a beard like yours.
Yeah, he's not going to go through the trouble of putting on a dress.
like a gay vampire from the future.
Yeah, sure. If the alt-right,
you know what true counterculture would be?
If the alt-right was
someone in a cabin with no internet who just hunts for his food
and has sex with sheep,
like Kaczynski. Well, not Kaczynski. Who's the Unabomber?
They don't have sex.
Yeah, Ted Kaczynski.
Yeah, like some Kaczynski type motherfucker.
Right.
Would be the Unabomber. Counterculture would be unplugging and just kind of like the alt-right is counterculture right now because the majority of people look at the alt-right. The end result of any conservative type viewpoints, but especially the alt-right, is a restriction of personal liberties and freedoms. But the alt-right, more than any other political spectrum on the right, is looked upon even by mainstream Republicans as like being something you like. Oh, they're kind of like out there. They're kind of like, I'm trying to think of the word. What is it, like taboo? So the counterculture always skews towards the taboo because young people are rebelling. Yeah. So in the '60s, if you were a dirty hippie. Well, why are they so bad? Let me look into that.
But the young
and then
people,
you get kind of indoctrinated.
But the young people are rebelling against the culture right now. It's the old people that are rebelling against the culture.
60-year-old yacht dads who think that but here's the thing: say the N-word, it should be okay. I get that.
No, but my thing is like the alt-right. Everything that they believe that they do that's supposed to be counterculture, whatever, it's either symbolic or it's empty. It's like it's not genuine. It's like something they do just to be a troll or something they do just to like piss people off, which means it's not even genuine. Meantime, there are people out there.
What do you mean though? That makes no sense because
because they freak out about people burning a flag and telling a cop to go fuck himself.
Yeah, but how do you
That's the real counterculture.
I know that I would agree, but I don't know about that. I'm just saying, how is trolling not genuine?
Well, because it's like just to piss people off.
Like, how do you look at other countercultures?
Here's the thing: somebody who burns a flag.
That's more genuine.
Yeah, because somebody who burns a flag, they actually have a statement behind why they're burning the flag, and it's not because they hate America or whatever. They're making a point of like, why are you worshiping a symbol, the Satanic Temple, for instance? None of the people who are actual Satanists in this country, they're actually atheists. But their whole mission and their whole goal is actually for like First Amendment rights and
things.
But
when you troll someone, if you're an alt-righter and you're trolling someone to get an emotional response just to point out, like, look, I am right because they're triggered.
But they go for the low-hanging fruit. Like anybody with half a brain, like when the alt-right...
I gotta go pee.
There's no way the alt-right could troll you or me. Because we'd see right through it. You know what I mean? Like, right, it's kind of pathetic when they try.
Let's talk about some other countercultures. What are some? The hippies, the beatniks. What else?
How about guys getting pegged?
Listen, you don't.
Sex is a big part of counterculture.
Okay, but I'm saying is how are they more genuine than the alt-righters?
Well, they're not even trying to make a statement. They just like being pegged. But the alt-righters will point to that and be like, "Oh,
you don't think beatniks were making a statement in the 50s? And
they are.
Suburbia was moving outwards, and they're.
And it was actually more badass back in the 50s. Because of considering the time, McCarthyism and everything. That's what I mean. Like the true counterculture movement was actually, you can almost say that their lives were like putting their lives in somewhat like some kind of danger of some sort, or even sacrificing their own comfort or their own futures. If you look at like a lot of the college kids who were taking part of the civil rights movement in the South, there was that case where like 2 or 3 of them got
I will say that
killed.
To that point, though, hold on a second. To that point, the new counterculture that I think with the alt-rights is instead of putting their lives at risk, like the hippies knew they could just be free love and let me finish my point, you coked up fucking Jezebel, for 30 years and then fucking get a job at one of the big 3 and they'll be fine with a pension. But the new counterculture with the crumbling middle class is fighting to keep in these oppressive systemic institutions that keep them in power and keep them safe. Like that's the new alt-right is vying for this period where they're going to be fine no matter what. They're pursuing the establishment almost in a way to strengthen these shitty systemic institutions, but that makes them completely safe. They're fighting to keep the systems in place that move them in an upward trajectory. Whereas, so they're not risking in that sense. No. So I do agree with that. But they are, like, I would say, alternative to the mainstream, which I don't like, which sucks. But I mean, I don't think you can deny that.
They're alternative, I guess you can say, to the, what would you call it, like the social contract?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that that's, I don't know. I don't know.
There's nothing impressive about, they're not going against any grain, actually. And the grain that they are going against is make-believe. It's boogeyman.
No, but they are going against the grain in the sense that the majority of people want change, progressive platforms to be implemented, and they want to keep in place power structures that lead them to benefit at the expense of other people, mostly people of color, and exploited minority groups. So that's what they're going against the grain in that sense.
There is a what would you call it, a business model that even like guys like Jordan Peterson, who even bragged about learning how to monetize.
I'm so glad that retard's a retard now.
Wait, what?
Because he went into like a coma to fix his Xanax addiction, and now he's just like a drooling idiot.
Yeah.
Like
what? Peterson, seriously?
Jordan Peterson.
Oh yeah,
you didn't hear about that? No, I know. I missed it.
Hold on a second. Mr. Self-Care, Mr. Clean Your Room, Daddy who tells you how to be a man was addicted to fucking
Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, he was addicted to Xanax, and he went to Russia against doctor's orders to go into a coma to try to fix his addiction, and had like a stroke, and now he's a fucking drooling idiot.
Holy,
it's hilarious. How am I going to clean my room now?
Yeah.
Daddy's not telling me to clean my room.
Yeah, no, he actually had like statements about people, how to get off drugs even. He was actually lecturing like, you just need to quit. When I had some, had some apple cider.
I I couldn't sleep for over a month. It must have been the glass of apple cider that I had.
Oh yeah, what a fucking freak.
But the sulfates in the apple cider kept me from sleeping for over a month.
Yeah, which is physically. By the way, have you ever been awake for?
He would be dead in 3 days.
An inflammatory response to something called sulfites, and we had some apple cider that had sulfites in it. And
apple cider? Like, what was it doing?
Sulfites in it.
What was it doing to you?
Oh, it produced an overwhelming sense of impending doom. See, Michaela knew by that point that it would probably only last a month, and I was like...
A month?
Yeah,
from
a month.
Fucking cider?
Oh, I didn't sleep that month. I didn't sleep for 25 days. I didn't sleep
What?
at all. I didn't sleep at all for 25 days.
How is that possible?
I'll tell you how it's possible. You lay in bed, frozen in something approximating terror for 8 hours, and then you get up.
Oh, this is from fucking cider. From cider.
That's what we thought, yeah. I mean, look, again, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
As someone who's like accidentally taken meth before and been awake for 4 days, and when I first snorted it, I was like, "This is meth." You remember that, right?
What? Oh yeah.
Don't look at me.
Well, I didn't even take it anymore after that first day, but it didn't matter because day 2, day 3, and day 4, I was just fucking awake.
What about the time you bought meth at a motel?
Okay, but
Was that an
hold on a second. But that was different.
And there was 2 60-year-old men fucking that 19-year-old guy.
Well, they weren't fucking.
They were like, "You want a party?"
Oh, hold
like,
on.
no,
They weren't. They weren't in the process. They weren't in the process.
Baba Booey, Baba Booey.
But I didn't know it was going to be a party and play hotel thing. I wanted to scratch it off my bucket list, but I also smoked that stuff, and it was nothing. It was shit.
I know, that's the same look I had when he told me that he had a bucket list.
They sold
like
me
that.
like a little glass pipe.
Is he referring to?
They gave me like a glass pipe, to smoke it with like a meth pipe, and I'm like, sure.
Yeah, you know how you go shirt and meth.
So I got my accessories, and they also gave me GHB, which
I sell meth and meth accessories.
well, it's not really a date rape drug.
Well, I mean,
Rufinol is more of a date rape drug. GHB has been used.
It's like trying to find the intricacies between 2 drugs that are actually used for date rape.
I can understand how it could be. So, like the meth, when I smoked it, it was like it wasn't even as strong as if I took.
You smoked meth?
Yeah, and it was shit, and it wasn't even as strong as like.
Wasn't even good meth.
Yeah. No, well,
folks at home can't hear this, but my friend who's not on the podcast is shocked and questioning Louie.
However, if you do GHB, which you should only take 1 ounce of, which tastes like soap, you should only do it if you're on uppers. Otherwise, which feels great at first. It's like a molly high, like a body high. But if you're not on anything, which I tried the next day when I took GHB, I was like holding onto my furniture, trying not to pass out for like 2 hours straight, trying not to like pass out and throw up. Ever since then,
always try to put a nice cloud over
I'm
shitty drugs?
It looked like I'm a
Everyone
scientist.
stop!
I'm a scientist.
Everyone stop! Andrew, stop asking Louie about drugs because he wants to just talk about how he does drugs for 4 hours.
I'm just trying to explain to people like that.
No, you're explaining to him and.
Yeah, this is so sad.
Okay,
he's been going to like
what's
CVS
this?
and buying some
I haven't
sort of
been.
nasal
I'm
spray
never going
and
to do it
breaking
again.
Open and drinking it.
So Benzodrex, it's a nasal spray. You crack it open. There's a cotton thing inside. You cut it up, put it in a glass. You can add like either lemon juice or Coca-Cola. I've always just used Coca-Cola.
Oh yeah, you're supposed to like filter it out or something.
You stir it up, and then you can put it in like a bag with like olive oil, and the olive oil will help take out the lavender oil, which
this is like a gypsy's like cure to like your child being sick.
Well, like
you mix it up with some
it's like
juice
it's
and then put it in a bag
actually
with the
cure
oil.
It's like.
So I'm never going to touch. I'm never going.
Talking about his pathetic
hey,
drug story.
because I'm a guinea pig, and if I can prevent people from doing.
Louie, hold on a second. Can I just say you're a creep? You know that?
Okay,
You're a real creep.
Last time I did it, I got so nauseous and sick from it. The smell of lavender, the flavor of lavender, just lavender in general.
It's fucking gross.
So I went into when I went to go buy your cigarettes for you, I stopped in a gas station. This big fat pig was working in there. She was nice.
Well, then why'd you call her a big fat pig?
She was, you couldn't look around it.
What can I get for you?
She was mopping the floor. She ended up telling me what it was, but it had. I'm like, is that lavender? And she's like, I don't know. It's this brand, probably. I don't know.
Was it Fabuloso?
Yes, it was.
I know that smell well.
Oh my God! It was making me. I was like, oh God! I had to get out of there. It's lavender, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't do lavender anymore.
It absolutely is
because of Benzodrex.
And what have you learned?
Never to get high on Benzodrex, nasal spray, cotton swabs mixed with Coca-Cola. And just for
That's
cheap.
specific, huh?
Yes.
Okay, so
The point is, if I had never done it, I'd have to worry about you guys trying it one day.
no, you wouldn't.
Yes. Well, yeah.
What are you doing?
The fucking thing's broke.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I mean, I think we're at the end, so
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
just like to ask you all.
We should all just close with a song.
Well, no,
Let's
no,
close
no,
with our.
no, we're not
let's
going to
close
close
with
with
our
a song.
Martin and Lewis act.
No, we will not.
Boy,
I want to.
ooh, Jerry, we're gonna sing us.
I want to close with a,
We're gonna
with
sing
a bit that I've
ourselves a
stolen
little
from many
song
bad
here, baby.
radio shows. Something called "What Have We Learned."
Uh,
So what have you learned from this conversation?
I learned that Louie has a drug problem.
I'm a scientist.
You're a psychonaut.
Yes.
I've learned that Louie's probably a sociopath with a horrible drug addiction. And we're all very worried about him.
Well, I can safely say this has been a successful podcast.
Yeah, this is a fucking train wreck.
Sean, you need some self-confidence, brother. All right, Louie, chip off some of that sociopathic, manic energy you have.
No,
and push it on to
Sean is supposed to keep all of us. He's like the Spock of the group.
Yeah, which is what I believe.
What
I
is
said
that?
at
Is
the
it
beginning.
because he is he hasn't taught the girls?
Once every 7 years.
Yeah.
Well, who am I then on the bridge?
McCoy, you're the common man.
I was Next Generation, so I don't know. So I'm Riker.
Barkley.
No, you're the empath's mother.
Oh yeah, there
Who
we go.
barges in and
Yeah.
tells the captain what to do.
Yes. Deanna Troy's mom.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Worst episodes, yeah.
Oh God. Anyways, let's close with a song. Rock-a-bye your baby with a Dixie melody.
You said Dixie.
When you croon a tune.
Goodbye, everybody.